First off, I want to thank the brave men and women who work behind the wall. I want to thank them on a national level because their job goes unrecognized.
How do they try to turn a guard?
Well, correctional officer. Sorry, I apologize. But correctional officer.
How you guys doing today? It's Anthony Gangi. Welcome to another episode of Tier Talk. Great episode coming our way. It's going to keep it quick. It's Mother's Day. It's Sunday morning. I got an email. The email said that this person wants to become a supervisor, but they don't think that they can discipline their former peers. And I think this is a great discussion. I'm going to have Gary York on with us because I don't like how you're looking at a supervisor as that's their priority. Discipline really is a last resort. Is it going to happen? Probably. But it's not something we look forward to. It's something that has to be done. But that shouldn't be the only thing that you think supervisors do. That should not be something that stops you from taking that next position. And I think it's going to be a great discussion. I definitely want to respond back to this email. Hey, Gary, what's up, man? How you doing? It's been a while. How was your trip to Arizona?
Hey, how you doing? The trip to Arizona was great. We saw Tombstone, we saw Phoenix, we saw the Grand Canyon. Thank you for asking. Thanks for having me on today.
30-hour drive.
Yes, 30-hour drive from Florida, from Central Florida to the Grand Canyon or to Tombstone, 30 hours.
So that's a total of 60 hours.
Oh, yeah, it was a long trip. We stayed 26 days on the road seeing different places, so we made it worthwhile.
Guys, that's why you want to retire. I'm looking forward to my retirement. I'm going to be doing that as well, Gary. Trust and believe that. Now, guys, if you haven't, the show Tier Talks to you, brave men and women that work in corrections. So please subscribe, interact, engage, comment, hit that bell. Bell's going to notify you every time I post a video. We're going to go to our sponsor and we come back. Let's talk about that next position as a supervisor and why disciplining someone really is a last resort. Stand by.
I wanted to attend a university that had an intelligence program. I wanted to look at problems different. I wanted to increase my critical thinking abilities. AMU offered those avenues to expand. Obtaining your degree as an adult, you're actually paying yourself and investing in yourself. You can't put a dollar on it. It's priceless. It's something that can never be taken away from you.
American Military University. Learn from the leader.
And we are back. So the moment I saw that email, Gary, I did want to respond to it. I mean, at this point, I do get a lot of emails and a lot of messages. And this one just hit to me because it hit me up because I want people to know that being a supervisor, discipline is not something that we look forward to. It's not. If we're a supervisor that really is a leader, we see discipline as a reflection of us, as a reflection of the team. And what we should try to do is exhaust all effort before that discipline is needed, which includes those interactions, cultivating that employee, being constructive. But then there are moments where you're going to have to discipline, where the employee's just not listening. And at that point, you have to take the next step or, where the liability is going to be. Maybe it's such a severe incident that you're going to have that immediate action. But the email kind of got to me, as I said, because it makes it look like discipline is kind of our main priority. Do you think as a supervisor, as a leader, Gary, that disciplining is our main priority?
Well, no. What I like to hear, whether it's when I was in the military or in corrections, either one, I like to hear a person say, I want to get promoted to be a leader. And what can I do to improve our team? If you have a squad, if you have a shift, if you have whatever you're supervising, what can I do to make us better, to make us work together better, to make us improve in our job capabilities, to make us, what can I do to help us improve in our job knowledge? What can I do to make life better for me and my people? So I don't want to hear, oh, I don't know if I can discipline my friends. Now, I'm not trying to be mean or sarcastic, but, there comes a time, as you said, when you may have to use discipline. It may be written, it may just be verbal. But listen, as a leader, you want to improve your team. And if you do have to do discipline, it is part of the job. It's not the forefront. It's not what you should think about first. If it comes along a time when you have to counsel someone, leadership counseling, or whatever you have to do it. And you have to remember, you have to put all those close friendships aside at work. And remember, you're not just, this person is my best friend, this person I don't like so much. You're a team. Everybody's equal. When you're a leader, everybody needs to be equal, and everybody needs to be treated the same, in my opinion. We don't treat one better, we don't treat one worse, and we work toward the common goal of making our team better, our agency stronger, and workforce ready and knowledgeable.
Right. You know what, Gary, when I read that email, I saw that email as a reflection of the mindset of their supervisor, which means that if I was their supervisor, I would hope that when the person looks to move up, they would look to transform others to be other supervisors, to take that next leadership position, and, to look to cultivate, help people grow. Because that's my goal, technically, as a supervisor, as a leader, is I want to transform people into becoming future leaders themselves. So to me, the mindset of that email says that they may have worked for somebody where that was their method of control. That was their method of being a supervisor. And when I see that, all I think of is like, you know what? You're stopping someone right now from wanting to move up. Think about this now, Gary. Think about this person probably has the potential to be a great leader, but because of how they see that leadership position or how they see that supervisor above them, that's how they kind of think that they need to be. So if their main focus is the discipline, that means in my mind that the supervisor that was above them is how they rolled. That cover your own ass, that I'm quick to write somebody up, as opposed to, maybe saying, hey, Gange, I wonder if I have it in me to cultivate others to be the best that they can be. That's a great email. That's a great way to be, right?
Right. And it could be just that, it could be that person's supervisor, or unfortunately, it could be the way that division is working. This person is seeing everybody being disciplined. We're going to write you up for that. We're going to counsel you for that. We're going to do, that's not a good way to approach your people. You need to be able to let your people know you can come talk to me as a leader. Don't be scared to come talk to me with a problem. And if you're cultivating people to think that discipline is leadership, discipline is not leadership. It's a part of the leadership job at times, but believe me, it's at the end of the list. When you're learning how to be a leader, you don't start out with, now you're going to be a leader and this is the way we discipline. That's definitely the wrong way to go. That's ass backwards, Anthony.
Yeah, I love that, Gary, because technically, and I'm glad we actually getting to have this discussion, because I've covered it before, guys, when it comes to having to write up someone that you used to work with. And I've done it before. I have dealt with that conflict. We don't have to revisit that. The topic here is just pretty much letting you know that that's not a leader's priority. And yes, you're going to have to be able to do it. And we're not saying, that's not the case. There could be that moment where you have to do it, but it's not something that we look forward to doing. And it's really not something that we want to always make a priority. The priority is cultivating that employee, helping that employee grow. So for the person who sent out the email, I think the better question is this: do you think you can help people grow? Do you think you can cultivate them? Do you think you can also transform them into future leaders? I need you to break away from who it was that was your supervisor, because it seems from that email that they were kind of being an obstacle for your growth. Because think about, again, they have you believing in discipline to be such a priority that you yourself don't want to step up. If someone says, hey, Ganji, the priority is cultivating and making that impact, then once I know I feel I can do that, I want to step up. That's something I want to do. That's something I want to be a part of. I just want to be ready for it. The opposite of that is discipline. We don't want it as leaders, discipline. It's something we have to do at times, but it's not something we want to do. So if we think of stuff that we have to do and not want, well, then that lessens our motivation. So I'm just going to give you another aspect of that message to motivate the want. What you want to do as a supervisor and as a leader is cultivate growth. That's something you want to do, and that's something you have to do. So use that to kind of create that positive growth mindset, and not what you feel will be the obstacle. Because even in discipline, if you're doing it right, it's growth. You're disciplined to cultivate. So, Gary, I think just the email, the mindset had to be shifted. Would you agree to that?
Yes, and I want to say to the person who wrote the email and the question, listen, I feel good about you. And the reason is you had enough thought process to say, I need to ask this question. And you asked a question, I guess you sent it to Anthony, and we won't mention who you are, but that tells me that you're interested. You're interested in trying to figure out, what to do in a leadership position. And maybe in your mind, you also had this thought, about discipline being, maybe you're seeing it too much or whatever. But I just want to say that I think it's good that you asked a question. There's never a silly question in this business. Always, if something's on your mind, do what you did and start asking around.
Hey, Gary, you have anything you'd like to say in closing?
No, I just want to say that I hope that what we talked about today helps this person and other people who are thinking about being a leader. Please get out of your mind that discipline is leadership. That's false. Leave the word discipline out of leadership. It's part of the job later on down the road. It happens, but leave that out. And I want to wish all the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day. And I want to thank all the officers for their service and dedication to our profession.
Yes, in my closing thoughts, I want to echo what Gary said. All the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. And again, always yesterday was the last day of Correctional Officer Week. So again, thank you guys and women and just anybody in the corrections profession as well for what you do, the sacrifices that we face or we commit to every day. Hey guys, just real quick on my closing thought, I'm thinking about this now. If we have that wrong mindset, we're losing a lot of good people that actually care. Because for someone to ask that question, they do have a level of care for the people that they supervise. I'm not looking at that question as someone that doesn't want to take that responsibility. I'm looking at someone that says, you know what? I know people try hard. I know people want to be their best. How do I balance that when they make a mistake? And I think that's what me and Gary got out of that. Not someone that can be walked on, but rather someone that wants to be that person to educate and cultivate. So again, look at it from that perspective. This isn't a position that you take to just discipline. That's not the case. Again, that's an exhausted last resort. In the meantime, look at it as, do you think you're ready to help people grow, make that impact, help people be the best they can be? And are you willing to take any steps to make that happen? And once you know that you're willing to take any steps to make that happen, now you're starting to cross into that responsibility of others. And I think that would help you get the right mindset you need to secure that next position. As always, guys, the show is Tier Talk. If you haven't, please subscribe, interact, engage, comment, hit that bell. Bell's going to notify you every time I post a video. Stay safe.